Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something absolutely massive that's flying right under the radar, the hidden AI coaching boom. We're not just talking about those clever chatbots that can write a quick email for you anymore. No, we're looking at a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure being built right now with one specific goal: to make you more capable, straight from your pocket.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll uncover this massive, unseen market, break down the actual economics of AI coaching, look at the billion-dollar infrastructure powering it, discuss a huge shift to what we call ability media, and finally, we'll reveal the smart coaching model. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The massive, unseen market. So, we really need to start by asking a fundamental question to challenge what we think we know about current tech habits. How many people are actually using AI as a life coach, an accountability partner, or a wellness guide right now? Because the market is spread across so many different apps, there isn't just one single audited number. But let me tell you, the evidence we do have is absolutely eye-opening. To really grasp the scale here, we first have to recognize that ChatGPT alone currently boasts over 900 million weekly active users. 900 million. I mean, that's our massive population level benchmark. But obviously, we need to figure out how much of that is just people asking for coding help or drafting meeting agendas versus actual personal development and coaching. Well, the answer is 68 million. That's the estimated number of weekly user equivalents who are actively seeking personal guidance and coaching. Think about that for a second. This isn't just a tiny fringe niche of tech enthusiasts anymore. We're talking about tens of millions of people using generative AI specifically for their own personal growth. And when you look at OpenAI's own massive usage study, the breakdown is super fascinating. About 8.5% of messages are asking for personalized how-to guidance, like changing a habit. Nearly 6% want health, fitness, and self-care tips, and almost 2% focus on relationships and personal reflection. If you add those most relevant ones up, you get roughly 7.6% of those hundreds of millions of users actively asking for coaching-style support. When you factor in surveys showing 29% of U.S. adults using AI for health advice, a defensible global estimate reveals a truly massive mainstream behavior. Even if we use a very strict definition, looking only at recurring AI coaching, reflection, goal support, and habit accountability, there are already between an incredible 50 to 100 million regular users worldwide. Literally, this isn't experimental anymore. Seeking personal guidance from AI has completely, totally entered the mainstream. All right, Section 2, the economics of AI coaching. Now, how exactly do you build a lucrative business when the smartest conversational bots in the world are available for free? It's kind of like a giant puzzle. When we map out consumer investments, a really fascinating spectrum emerges. Because ChatGPT has 900 million weekly users, but only 50 million paying subscribers, the median consumer expenditure right now is zero. But consumers are totally willing to pay $5 to $10 for basic habit apps, jumping to $12 to $20 for specialized AI journals, and $20 to $40 for highly structured AI coaching. Premium creator-branded bots can even command up to $99 a month. That is a huge jump. And this brilliantly illustrates the core business dilemma. ChatGPT and Claude will chat with you for free, right? So what are people actually opening their wallets for? Why spend up to $40 a month? Well, they're paying for a trusted methodology, personal memory, measurable progress, and a highly personalized reason to return and practice every single day. That structure is what's truly valuable. Moving right along, Section 3, the billion-dollar infrastructure. These incredible sums of money are dramatically reducing the cost of computing power. Essentially, the brain power needed to run these AIs is getting cheaper by the minute. Just look at the numbers. OpenAI reported closing $122 billion in committed capital. Anthropic had a $65 billion funding round. And with Samsung projecting 800 million AI-enabled devices by 2026, these pocket coaches are being distributed everywhere. This matters immensely because pocket coaching requires enormous amounts of affordable computing power to remember your context, analyze your patterns, and personalize your practices flawlessly. The smart money is aggressively playing favorites right now. Look at the first half of 2025. AI-enabled digital health startups raised an average of $34.4 million per round. Compare that to just $18.8 million for non-AI companies. That is nearly double the capital. Investors know that personalized behavior change systems are the future, for sure, and they're enthusiastically backing the tech that can proactively guide human behavior and health. Section 4. The shift to ability media. So we're looking at a massive paradigm shift here. We're transitioning from passive media consumption to active skill development. The previous internet model was basically interest media, finding information, watching content, counting views. But this emerging model is fundamentally different. It's all about receiving contextual guidance, actually practicing a skill, and measuring your real progress. Instead of the internet saying, hey, because you watched this, here is more content, it says, because you're trying to handle this specific situation, here's the exact micro skill you need next. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us to Section 5, the SMART coaching model. To truly deliver on this massive promise of ability media, the industry is rapidly moving toward a 5-part framework that we really need to define. We call it SMART. The first step is sense, meaning the system actually understands what is happening to you right now. It achieves this not just through a text prompt, but through conversation, manual input, and, with your permission, of course, data from your calendar, your wearables, and previous activity. It senses your state before it even speaks. Next up is maintain. It must maintain a useful memory, tracking your unique history rather than just throwing out isolated facts. It remembers the goal you chose last Tuesday. It notices repeating patterns in your behavior, and it gently reminds you of unfinished commitments. It truly, deeply knows you over time. Then, the system must adapt the learning. It tailors micro practices specifically to your immediate capacity and your current situation. Think about it. If it senses your energy is low or you're under a lot of pressure, it doesn't just give you a massive, exhausting lecture. It pivots. It selects a short, highly tailored practice based exactly on your learning history and your current state of mind. Now, without accountability, there really is no coaching. That's why return, following up to review real-world results, is absolutely vital to the whole shebang. Did you try the practice? What actually happened? What made it difficult for you? The system proactively follows up to ensure you aren't just passively reading, but actually attempting to grow. Finally, we have transfer. The goal isn't just to complete an app module and get a little digital badge. The goal is to successfully transfer that readiness into your actual real-world life. You practice a communication technique on your phone, and then you transfer that skill into an actual workplace conversation that exact same day. This is the big distinction between an AI that just talks intelligently and a system that actually supports intelligent human development. So the magic really happens in what we call the continuity layer. This is the invisible thread, connecting a stressful moment in your day to an AI insight, to a micro practice, and finally to real-world growth. Right now, wearables provide measurements, wellness apps provide content, and AI companies provide conversation. The true billion-dollar opportunity is building this continuous, intelligent, developmental structure that ties it all seamlessly together. This quote perfectly hits the nail on the head regarding the shift. That is the difference between putting an AI chatbot in someone's pocket and putting a usable process for becoming more capable in their pocket. We are moving so far beyond just a clever chat interface. We're talking about continuous self-development infrastructure integrated directly into our daily lives. It's giving you a tangible process to become more capable every single day. As this technology rapidly evolves and integrates into our lives, you really have to ask yourself how you'll choose to cultivate your own abilities in the future. The massive global infrastructure is already being built. The shift from passive media to active ability media is well underway. So the absolute crucial question you have to answer is, will your next coach be a person or an adaptive process living right in your pocket? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep practicing, and I hope this totally changes how you view the incredible technology you carry with you every single day.